What's up, everyone? I just want to start covering about Ethereum Classic and why it has been sold down so heavily in the recent past two trading sessions. I think yesterday was the most significant one, where it dropped below the below the 400,000 satoshis, or the 0.004 satoshi mark, and it's being manipulated, guys. Okay, let's just put it this way: Ethereum Classic is very promising project. Okay, don't forget, it is the original Ethereum, all right, until the hard fork. And now you're looking at it from the fact that, okay, I've already drawn up the run up, right? It's only 263% from perhaps the low, which was 99 cents. When you talk about in terms of US dollar wise, of course, from where it was $1 and it went up all the way to a high of, I think the high was $8, 8 US dollars. That's of course 800%, right? So, but if you talk about from the fact that if you're looking at it from a BTC perspective, it's not as attractive as if you were compared to US dollars or fiat, because there's so much free money floating around, in on this world, that you're gonna see like the price, the percentages be very different, because BTC is also increasing, right? From where I started looking at Ethereum Classic, I think BTC was around anywhere from 780 to 1002 dropping back down to 1009 when the ETF got rejected, to about 900 when ETF got the Winklevoss ETF got rejected, and then gradually climbing back up again. And where it is now, it's at 1,700 US dollars. As you can see, a lot of fiat is flowing into crypto, that's for sure. Now, let's just do a quick roundup first before I get into the whole ETC talk, right? Okay, so as you can see, the the current market cap is already 52 billion. Congratulations to the people in the cryptocurrency space when it was 8 billion, 10 billion. When you were way earlier, when you were in earlier, congratulations to all of us. We saw it, right? Now new markets are being opened up. Korea, Japan are on board now, and that's where you see the whole influx. Because why? Even in countries like Japan, the money is so cheap, it's getting weaker and weaker, and the purchasing power in those countries are getting lower and lower, that people are open to a new asset class or a new currency in this case. So as you can see, Bitcoin is already at 1,701, but its BTC dominance is actually dropping at a very rapid rate. Right now, when I was looking at it, it was around 70%. I've seen the charts, and it was at anywhere from 90%, 80 to 90% and above. But only starting in the beginning of March, you see the dominance continue to just trend downwards, because people are looking at, of course, moving away from Bitcoin because of the blockchain congestion issues, and the fact that the mining fees are getting higher and higher, which is not what it is not how Bitcoin is supposed to function. So they're moving away from that. And also, as a miner, it's not as favorable to mine Bitcoin anymore. It's more profitable to mine probably Ethereum, Dash. Wait, I don't even know whether you can even mine Dash, but any coin that is mineable. So for example, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, all these coins are much more favorable to mine compared to Bitcoin now, right? Because you have to have so much power to mine a little bit of Bitcoin. Whereas if you pointed that mining power to another coin, right, it creates that potential, it strengthens the network, and at the same time also it's more profitable to the miner to process transactions on that particular network. Okay, so looking at this, right, you see Poloniex is having I mean, for now it seems like it's having a lot of strength. But take a look at BitHub. BitHum is basically the largest Korean cryptocurrency exchange in Korea. And look at that, 35 million guys coming in, okay, from just BitHum. Now, let me tell you one thing, is that next week, all right, Ethereum Classic is going to be listed, okay, on BitHum. And BitHum only focuses on Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. And I think they just listed Litecoin. And that also caused the surge. So if I'm reading this correctly, ETC is now being sold down, or you're being pressure sold, so that you probably the Koreans can pick it up. I'm just looking at how the trend is. Okay, I'm not like 100% certain, but if you look at the way the trend is, right, you're looking at for the fact that there has to be a correction. So that's what happened. Okay, so that's what happened. And oh, but before I go into that, let's go to the top 10. Okay, everybody loves the top 10. Okay, so the top 10, right? So Bitcoin still number one, of course, and Ethereum. Now this guy, wow, I am completely shocked about how Ripple has performed. You know, in the past 7 days, you're looking at 282%. Very crazy, guys. Ripple was like, you know, third, of course, and then now the market cap, in fact, I think it closed in on Ethereum yesterday, but then of course it got sold down, and you know, it's between, you know, the two of them. But Ripple, I would say, is more of a centralized currency, right? A lot of banks are using them, so no, it's the same thing like Ethereum, right? It's so because of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, it has its appeal because, like I said, corporations have money. Okay, corporations have money. They are able to come to a consensus quicker when it comes to decision making, and you know, everything is about making profit at the end of the day. So I'm not sure how Ethereum is going to pan out in the years to come, but like I said, of course I have quite a handful of Ethereum that you know, I'll always keep, right? Because like I said, corporations have money. I'm here to profit. I'm not here to just purely believe in. I believe in the whole decentralization and financial liberation, and you know, not being corrupt, you know, by the politicians and corporations. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about who has money, corporations have money. So let's always remember that. Same thing, Ripple. The reason why Ripple has been so successful is because it's adding on to the list of banks that are open to using Ripple, because like I said, it's just much faster, it's more efficient, and that's what banks need, right? You can't be having money, you know, having to be sent across internationally, like Bitcoin, for example, and it's stuck on the blockchain for 1 to 2 to 3 days. The banks do not want to have that kind of problem. Ripple does not have that problem because it just has a faster blockchain and transaction time, and very, very low fees. Banks love that, right? So that they can work on the float. Okay, so that's what Ripple does. Litecoin, I'm assuming that after they adopted have they even adopted the version of segregated witness? I'm not sure. I'm not a Litecoin follower, so you know, feel free to comment whether did they do that or not. I'm assuming it did. And then of course Coinbase listed Litecoin, and now after reading, I realized that, oh, okay, BitHum also listed Litecoin. Then you have Neem. Neem is, I think, it's a security. Okay, someone please help me out with Neem, right? I'm just trying to figure out what all these cryptos do. Dash is digital cash, of course, and of course Ethereum Classic, right? I get excited about Ethereum Classic because I see it as the really, really undervalued, you know, undervalued Ethereum. Okay, but I do have some concerns. For example, there could be a possibility of a name change along the lines, right? Because they are launching the Emerald wallet this summer, and you know, they're going to be waiting for how Casper turns out, whether the proof of stake, as Ethereum or Vitalik actually put in the white paper, whether it's really going to be that successful to validate transactions with just purely staking your coins rather than reducing mining, right? Because who knows whether the miners are wanting to do that, because when you're mining, you have control, you have the voting rights, but suddenly you have people who are able to kind of hoard, right? Because that's how Dash prices ran up to from 40 all the way until 100, because the master node algorithm or whatever came into play. So every 10,000 Dash would form a master node, right? And then you would get returns on I think every 2 weeks or something. You get 1-2 Dash or something. So that being said, right, if proof of stake proves to be successful, then Ethereum Classic will obviously be able to adopt, right? So Ethereum Classic is gonna be in a very, very slow trend. It is very undervalued, guys. Just look at the numbers, okay, in the top 10. Of course, Stellar Lumens, I have no idea what the heck it does, okay? It's just from nowhere it blasted to the top 10. So I'm not touching it because I don't even know what the heck it does, and it's up like 692%. This is, to me, very, very awesome returns, but because I never looked at it, I'm not going to comment on it. Monero being a privacy coin, same thing as Dash, and I think Zcash is probably using the ZK Snarks. It's fallen all the way until 13. So Ethereum Classic has been holding steady, right, in the top 10 for the longest time, and that's what I look for. I look for fundamentals, and I look for things that are undervalued. So I'm really happy that Ethereum Classic actually sold down now, now more than ever, because it's still below the $10 mark, because I'm going to be buying Ethereum Classic all the way until it hits 10, okay? And from then I'll just keep reassessing and looking for consolidation. So let's go to the charts right now without further ado. So yes, so when we are looking from a ETC BTC, you're looking at when it was, well, this is the 99 cents range, right? Maybe even 80 cents range, okay? Then after that, it ran up to about the 120, 150 region, okay? And I picked up some more around here. And after that, there was the $2 period and a little bit of a consolidation here. And that's when I picked it up again. And after that, run up, and now you have a sell down. I did pick up some at the high, which is around the $7 to the US dollars, right? In terms of BTC, I would say I picked it up at a not a very favorable price, 0.046, right? 0.0044. So 440,000 satoshis I picked up as well, because there was a consolidation. So I decided to pick some up here. Then of course now I'm a little bit down on the portions that were here, but my majority was all here, so I'm still good. Now, when you see this sell down, a lot of people would have panicked, right? Because they would be thinking, why is Ethereum Classic being sold down, right? Because this is the part where the influx of money that came in were from the Koreans. So the Koreans may be working on this portion to pressure people to let go of their Ethereum Classic. And then once it's listed on BitHum, it's at a more favorable price. So I can actually see it lower than where it is right now. Then, there may be a little bit of a small, bump for today, but I'm buying into it. I assume that it can even sell down to 0.030, guys. That's the thing, right? So everybody wants things cheap. No one wants to buy at the high, okay? So this fear of missing out, like for example, how I've been looking at XRP or Ripple and Stellar Lumens, people on the Trollbox have been talking about entering back at either 10 cents for Stellar Lumens or something like that. And the Trollbox can be something that that causes a lot of emotional stress, right? Because you're seeing the whole chat, and that's where I find that if you're new to this, you should really just read it and take it as entertainment, like how I do. I just love for the fact that people will love to say, this is rising, that coin is rising, check this out, man. It's all over the place. My take for this or Ethereum Classic is to really sit down, take a deep breath, start looking at the fundamentals. Okay, I repeat myself, look at the fundamentals, and you can't go wrong. Because when you have the fundamentals in check, you know where they are headed. You have more conviction to really buy into the crypto, rather than just waking up in the morning, turning on Poloniex or Kraken or whatever you use, and putting your money in. You know, I know traders will be looking at this like, hey, you know, you probably didn't make money in XRP. In fact, I was looking at XRP on the 2nd to the 3rd of May. And if you look at the chart 2nd to the 3rd of May, okay, let's look at XRP, okay. When I looked at it from the 2nd and the 3rd of May, okay, I of course am kicking myself because I looked at it around here, okay, so 2nd and 3rd of May. And that was when it happened. I am salty because I had some money set aside, okay, to enter anywhere from the 2nd and the 3rd. So if you ask me, I am a little bit salty that I'm not in, okay? But just so you know, I didn't chase. I didn't try to catch it anywhere, okay? Because I know that I missed it, okay? And I will accept for the fact that if it had run up, you know, 1,000 over percent, okay, let's just use the, let's use it, okay? Let's use the, how much did it run up? Okay, so here was the run up, right? So here was the run up at the high. Okay, so at the high, so let's just look at the close. Okay, let's just look at the close. So I would have made, and I'm sure a lot of people have made 200, 300%. Okay, in this very short, if you picked it up here or even here, amazing, right? It's even better. But I didn't, right? So could you imagine that I would have like doubled up my money in, no, sorry, not double, tripled my money, right? Because this is the tripled my money in a very, very short period of time. But I missed it. So I have to accept that fact. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to buy cryptos at really reasonable rates at consolidation points. And that's where you want to be. You don't want to be just trading in between and you're going to have these kind of sell downs happening. You see, now you can see that there's uncertainty, right? That's why it's going up. The wick is so long and then after it sells down and it's going back up again. This is just the residual FOMO volume that is going back and forth, right? So, you know, it's uncertain already. It's not showing like, wow, more strong candles. It could, but as you can see, it's very uncertain already. If it could go up all the way here and start selling down, that means it's probably, you know, starting to retrace. And people who bought at a high, I'm so sorry, because that's the way it is, right? Because it's a zero-sum game. Whether you like it or not, cryptocurrency is still it's still a speculative market, okay? There's no way that you can determine how much XRP is really worth or the company Ripple is actually really worth. Even when you talk about the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance coming together to invest in Ethereum, how much is Ethereum really worth, right? Is it really worth $90 per token at the moment for one Ether? No one knows, right? Because it's not listed on the stock exchange. We can't determine the actual value as of now. There's no price earnings ratio. There's no dividends that is being paid out. There's no quarterly announcements of how much revenue that Ethereum has made. No one knows all this. It's all speculation. So now let's look at ETC again. Okay, so let's just say, okay, I'm gonna make a call, okay, to pick up some once there's a consolidation somewhere, right? Okay, there's no consolidation yet, okay, but the moment there's a reversal or a strong green candle, a strong close, okay, a strong close, that's time to buy, okay? That's when you have to buy, right? And I'm happy to see that for the fact that it didn't run up that crazy before before this occurred. Okay, I'm pretty happy about it. And that's what I like to see. I don't like to see it 1,000, 2,000%. And then I'll be thinking, how long do I have to wait before I see an actual consolidation? Because the euphoria, the volume is all flowing in at such a rapid pace. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to be valuable for anyone to buy. So if you ask me, I'm making, of course, conservatively, I like to pick it up back here. You know, but that's just insane amount of sell down. It could happen, but it's not that unlikely actually when you think about it. But if you can have these kind of days, This is a 1-day candle, by the way. If you have these kind of days, you know, being sold down back to this level, it's pretty likely. But you know, being back at this level, at this current Bitcoin price, that means, let's do a quick calculation. Let me get my phone. So you're looking at a from a US dollar perspective, right? And say, for example, BTC is still at about 1,007. Okay, it's 355. Okay, it's 355 ETC. Now, of course, it would suck that it really went down all the way there, and I would have to still hold it. That's why, as you can see, I'm not even opening Poloniex. I'm just gonna ride this out. I'm just gonna play with my daughter, go swimming, go to the gym, go out with the wife. I'm not even gonna freaking open Poloniex until this whole thing blows over to allow the market to know what it wants. Because I know for the fact that where Ethereum Classic is going, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just letting you know, because it is the most undervalued cryptocurrency as of now. I'm not saying that the rest of the cryptocurrencies are not undervalued, because the new markets have just opened up. They are very excited. Whatever money that's flowing in now is still cheap, whether regardless of Bitcoin, whether regardless of Ethereum, whether regardless of Ripple, Dash, or whatever. I feel that it's still cheap. It's just that, are you willing to pay $100 for a token? Are you willing to pay $90 for a token? You have to decide that for yourself. And that's why I say fundamentals are important. Because if you lack the fundamentals, or you don't even know whether this coin or this crypto has a proper development team behind it, or it has very poor marketing, or they don't update their Twitter or their Slack or their GitHub, or whatever, right? You better stay away, because you obviously are just coming in and trying to make your $100, $1,000 or whatever shit and buy some sneakers. Then you don't have much of a long-term kind of a portfolio here. You're not thinking of long-term. You're just thinking very, very short-term. You want to think short-term, make sure you have enough liquidity so that you can buy into a few cryptos. But always come back and have at least 50 to 60% invested in a proper token. And that's why I say you have to look at who are the top 5 and how long have they been staying in the top 5, and not like their top 5 for, you know, like Stellar Lumens, you know, it can jump into the top 10. I'm not giving it a shit until I've seen it there for a very good period of time. Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, Bitcoin have all been there, right? For the top 10 for the longest time. And they are there to stay, unless, of course, one of them really screws up big time, and it causes a lot of investors to really let go of the tokens. And that's when the devs probably fucked up. So those are very, very black swan kind of, you know, scenarios, because if you're having such a large development team, you solve it. You think Google, Facebook, they don't have problems? Of course they do, but they always solve it because they have enough programmers, designers to always rectify the problem, right? So you're gonna have a lot of excitement in this space, that I can assure you. And you know, my videos are getting just long and always 20 minutes. I really apologize, but you know, there's so much to cover and I don't want to discount anything. And I'm very appreciative that I've seen my channel grow from, you know, 350 subscribers to 380 subscribers in just, I think, a month or so. And I'm really happy. You know, I'm happy that you guys are following and you feel that my content is value adding to you. I hope you'll be picking up some Ethereum Classic for yourself. You know, make your own decisions, of course, right? Because I am invested in Ethereum Classic doesn't mean that you should be invested, but I'm just telling you that there's value to be had here. And if you do pick up some and you're getting in at a reasonable price, hold it. Okay, hold it for the next 12 months and then decide from there. Okay, and you know, I'm pretty convicted all the way until $10, like I said. Okay, I'm making this video as of today. Today is like, what's it today? Today is the 9th. Today is the 9th of May. So just mark this video down. You know, see where it's headed. I see Ethereum Classic easily $20. No doubt about it. Easily $20. Why is Ethereum Classic reaching $100 without a ETF fund, and you know, okay, it's not an exchange traded fund, sorry. An ETF would mean that the floodgates have opened for cryptocurrencies. So if that gets approved, I tell you guys, everything is going to run up crazy, because one's going to get approved, the next one is going to get approved, and so on and so forth. So SEC is going to be very careful about it until they know how to regulate how the inflow of money is, how they can control the inflow of money, or at least monitor the inflow of money. They're not going to approve anything. So I don't see the Ethereum ETF going through at all. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Like, you can reject BTC, but you're going to approve Ethereum. If that is really the case, right, that means, right, the SEC is being pressured by the larger powers here, and you know what I mean when I mean larger powers. Okay, so for ETC, right, ETC has Barry Silbert. You know, he's already a very visionary investor, hedge fund manager, and you know, he started the Bitcoin investment fund, right, under Grayscale. So same thing, he started ETC. So if Ethereum was so popular, why the heck would he set up an ETC fund, right? Obviously, he sees the potential, and he's willing to bank on his reputation to set up a ETC fund so that his private investors can get in. Now, the difference between private investment fund and ETF is that ETF is open to the public. That means your grandma could buy into it, okay, with your fiat. But when you're talking about private investment, it's very different. You have to be an accredited investor, be willing to declare at least you earn $300,000 in a financial year, or you have a net worth of, I think, $1 million before you can do a placement of minimum placement of $10,000 into this private fund set up by Grayscale, of course, founded by Barry Silbert. So with all this kind of psychology and groundwork being laid out for Ethereum Classic, right, this is where the money is supposed to be. Okay, if you miss the boat for XRP, you miss the boat for Stellar Lumens, don't cry about it. Make sure that, or if you made some profits, put it into ETC, guys. That's all I'm saying, right? And let's see where we go from here 3 to 6 months from now, and we can look back. All right, so that's all I have today. Almost a 30-minute video. For those who stayed all the way, check out my list of programs that I'm using at the description below. And of course, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you felt that it was shit, give it a thumbs down. And last but not least, subscribe and stay blessed.